Howdy. Howdy. Howdy.
Now, y'all know I am a consummate professional, and normally I do not drink during the show, but tonight,
Oh, so wait a minute. So we coming on and you say that you're the consummate professional because you won't drink on the show, and I've been drinking and teetotaling every time we get on the show. So now I'm just some old ratchet bitch from somebody's urban city.
listen, there is nothing like a silent, or there is nothing like a non-verbal but aggressive
Oh,
slurp.
oh, oh, this what we doing. But okay, all right. Okay.
Yes, Lola. If you'll recall, I mentioned that when I was in Fort Lauderdale, I discovered this Bloody Mary mix called Filthy. This is she. So Filthy Bloody Mary mix plus Kettle One vodka. Not vodka, vodka.
Filthy.
Yes. VOKA.
Dirty. Nasty.
Oh, they be adding more shit to this to the background of this show. So that's cute. But yes. So
Monique. Listen, let me give a shout out to Miss Monique. Listen, baddest side haircut you ever gonna see, because she gonna turn around and that hair gonna fly to the side like, what? What's my name? Come on, Monique.
yes.
What's up, baby?
And so yeah, it's just been today has been a day.
Well, tell us all about it. What's it all about, Alfie? What's it all about?
So I woke up
Brista
at about 4 o'clock this morning.
Strike one.
Yeah. The first thought on my mind was like, these niggas get on my fucking nerves.
That's usually how my morning starts off.
And it was work. And, I'm just, and then it was reinforced with, let me see if I can pull it up on my Facebook page. But I have just been feeling more and more, literally, what's it all about, Alfie? Because I'm just like dealing with people's foolishness has just been, a lot recently. I'm trying to see how can I see my memories from my main page. Because it easily gives me my memories from. Anyway, one of my memories was about I had won an award at work, and I keep that award as a reminder not to give too much of my energy to people that don't deserve it.
Okay.
And it was just all of that just sort of came together today, because I am growing increasingly more frustrated with just like people's bullshit. You know what I mean? At work.
Say more.
I mean, that's literally it. It's that all right, so I'll give you an example. I feel like I'm doing my job, and I feel like I'm like always thinking about the future. Like, okay, girl, we need to get this done because the passengers need to, whatever. And then now we gotta, just these are all things that need to be done. And everyone else is just like, so perfect example. Today in the meeting, the PM that works for me is leading the weekly huddle on the project. And one of the PMs that manages a service is like, yeah, we won't be able to get to this until April. And I'm like, hold on. So every now and again I gotta just like blow the spot up. I'm like, hold on. This was supposed to be done back in November.
Ooh.
And why is it that almost 5 months later we haven't been done? And then so she tried to get loud with me, right? That was her first mistake. She tried to get loud with me. She was like, oh, you mean when you let us know the requirements late? And I said, no, because per the record, this has been a requirement since September, but you only acknowledged it in November.
That's a huge difference from not being told.
Exactly. Because you've been on this meeting, and we was all in this meeting in November when you was like, wait, we got to add this to the project? Well, bitch, we've only been talking about this every week for the past 3 months. And then at that point, you said you was going to get this done in November. So how did November... I mean, I know because I've been here watching it, but it was finally time that she got called out on the carpet. And she was like, oh, well, we're working on this other thing. And I'm like, I get that you all are working on this other thing, but we still got to get stuff done. And that was just a microcosm of stuff. Like, no one did any work over the holiday. And I feel like and my small team of 3 other dudes are the only ones who are like, we got to move these projects forward. Everyone else is like, yeah, it took us 6 months to change a light bulb, but
So
but just let me just finish. So it's takes 6 months to change a light bulb because, okay, first we got to talk about what kind of light bulb we got we're going to do. Then you can't just go and buy the light bulb and screw it in. You got to put the requirement together for the kind of light bulb. Then somebody else has to do a drawing of where the light bulb is going to go. Then somebody else has to wire up the socket for the light bulb. Then someone else has to screw it in a quarter turn. Then someone else has to screw it in all the other way. Then somebody else got to go and flick the switch to make sure that the fucking light bulb works. And so that's how it ends up taking 6 months to do the shit. And even if that is the process, you know your role in the process. And so if I tell you we got to get this light bulb screwed in, you know what your role is. And you just be sitting there, right? And so I come to you and was like, okay, well, why haven't you done your quarter turn yet? And you say, oh, well, it was because I was waiting for so-and-so to provide me the screwdriver in order to do the turn. And I'm like, so why didn't you fucking say that? Why have you been sitting here for 3 weeks knowing that in order to do your job, you need this person to do something? A better example is a cake. So it's here come is your turn to, you got to do the final stir and pour it in the pan. But we don't have enough eggs, but you don't say anything. And then you just sitting there for like 3 weeks.
Waiting.
And then when someone is like, hey, why isn't this cake in the oven yet? Oh, because we need 6 eggs and we only put 4 in the cake. Why the fuck didn't you just say that?
Yeah.
And I feel like, bitch, I'm not the only one that knew that the cake needed to be made 3 weeks ago. And here we are. It's just so, I'm giving you simple, break it down explanations, because if I start talking technical terms, y'all not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you understand what I'm saying. It's like, you know what your job is. You know that your job is dependent on other things happening. And like, here's the biggest thing is that over the holiday, right? We going back to this cake baking analogy, right? The bitch just gotta put the, make the finished cake is like he had to place an order for the eggs, the sugar, the butter, the flour, all of that stuff, right? I said, all right, so by the time I come back from vacation in January, that cake need to be in the oven. Frankly, it should have been already cooked, but here we are. It need to be in the oven. I did way more than I should. I gave you the full list of all the shit that you were supposed to buy. I saw you place the order at fucking Whole Foods before I left. And then here I come back 3 weeks later and I'm like, well, why isn't this cake in the oven? And they're like, oh yeah, I guess I should check to see what that Whole Foods order is. And so I'm just frustrated because I feel like I'm not busting my ass, because I want to be clear. It's a lot of people that have a lot harder jobs than I do. But the job that I do have, I want to do a good job. I want to keep the trains running on time. I want to do my shit, because for me, it's easier to do my job and then go fuck around, because then you won't have nobody bothering you. These people just fuck around all the time.
And you also seem to have a better grasp of what you do and how it actually affects the company.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody should. I mean, I'm not even the expert in all of these subjects. And so sometimes when I feel like
this Bloody Mary is giving you the business.
She's good, honey.
It is doing a thing on you.
So you know what I love. So anyway, so the job pissed me off. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I was in a really bad headspace in that I get into every couple of months where I'm like, I'm about to quit. But girl, this is not the time to be quitting jobs in the DC area, because everybody else is getting fired. So now, even if I did want to quit, right, I'm super qualified, right? But now it's 1,000 super qualified bitches out on the job market that, some of whom are willing to take, a year ago might have been like, you got to pay me $1 to do the job. Now, because there's so many people, they might take 50 cents to do the same job. So anyway, but back to this Bloody Mary. A good Bloody Mary is almost, it's got an umami quality, so it's almost meaty kind. It doesn't taste like meat at all, but it has that same sort of essence to it. So this got just enough, and it's just salty and garlicky and spicy enough, and you add just enough good Kettle One or some other good vodka mix to.
Now, if this was on the cruise ship, remember we had the other version, the Isu, where instead of adding vodka, you add gin.
Yeah, I don't fuck with gin, but sure.
But hey, listen, that gin and that Bloody Mary
put gin in it. I think it's the same. It's still called a Bloody Mary if you do vodka or gin, but if you put tequila in it, then it's called a Bloody Maria.
I'm out. The vodka or the gin is what I will do, but
you don't really like Bloody Marys, though.
I mean, I had some on the cruise that time, and it was a while. But here's the thing: I also like V8. I like V8. I just don't buy it that often, but I like V8.
I don't like regular V8 juice, but I will drink like a good Bloody Mary mix.
Oh yeah,
I will just drink Bloody Mary mix straight.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that,
because I think it's the mixture of the horseradish and the other stuff in it that the V8 doesn't have. But anyway, that's how my life has been. Here we are. And so how was you?
Baby, listen, I don't know what's going on today, but I'm in a great mood for some reason. Not that I'm perpetually in a bad mood or I'm crabby, but I'm in a good mood for some reason.
I mean, just a little bit, but that's fine.
See, this, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not even a read. I mean, listen, because we come on Wednesday.
He done already called me some low rent, low budget discount girl from the hood. That's what he done already called me. And bitch, there's a fly in the studio. What the fuck is going on? No wonder my child was running around making noise. Where the fuck did this come from? Okay, I'm gonna let that go. But yeah, I've been in a decent mood, and because I think for me at this point with work, it's one of those things where even though I've been doing what I do for years, but I'm doing it now at a place where I'm actually feeling a little bit more comfortable. Even though we had this new system implementation, there are things that I'm feeling more comfortable with every single day. And so I'm getting to this point where, like, I hate to walk into a room and have a motherfucker ask me 17 different questions about shit. And I'm just like, wait a minute, stop. You're asking me 17 questions. You know, I just started on this, and you're asking me like, what can I possibly answer for you because I've just started. So usually the response is going to be, if I know it, I'll give you the answer. But if I don't, it's like, you know what, I have to find out and let you know. That's all I can do. But it seems like you're creating more work for me, and that part irritates me before I even get started. Like, don't assign me a project and create more work before I even get out the damn door. Like, come on, like that type of shit irritates me. So I haven't had a lot of that as of lately. But on top of that,
you just spoke it into existence. Now tomorrow they're gonna start talking foolishness.
But see, but I talked about this before. I said this before because listen, the Black Degree Factory is going to go on a holiday. I guess it's that time of year where all the college students want to go on a spring break. Everybody's trying to get their refund. Everybody's trying to get a good old refund. They trying to come in everywhere. So, but yeah, I have a feeling based on holidays past that right before we get to that 3-day weekend or that time off, everybody's going to try to cram stuff down your throat. So between tomorrow and Friday, there are going to be so many things that's going to be crammed down my throat. They're going to be like, well, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And then it's going to be a conversation that's going to start off with, well, next week when we're in the meeting, no, we're not in the meeting next week. We're not available.
Right.
I'm not available. Oh, okay. Well, I just assume you're going to be working. I don't assume that because we are off. Now, is there something in particular that you may want me to try to get done? I'll give you a time. I'll make sure I have it done before I come back. But I'm not. No, that's not what I'm doing. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of that coming up. So I'm bracing myself for that. But again, it's been a good thing. I'm looking forward to the spring breaks. I'm looking forward to just chilling out and doing nothing, having fat girl treats at whatever time I feel like it, just being lazy. That's what I want to do. That's all I want to do for the spring break. But so today was good, but there's been some drama at the Black Degree Factory. There's been some vandalism on the campus.
Do tell.
And it had to do with my particular office. They were like,
y'all to piss somebody off that didn't get their scholarship or something.
Baby, listen, take a number because somebody asked us, well, do you have any idea of who it would be? I said, let me stop you. You might want to ask the question.
That get financial aid is mad.
Yeah, I was like, you might want to ask the question, are there any happy people? Because I could probably name those people. Everybody else is going to be mad. But I'll name the extremely happy people because that's probably about 15. That's it. That's all I got. The rest of them, they all mad because they're not getting something that they want. So, but that's been interesting. So we'll see how, and they've kind of jumped right on it and kind of fixed it. But also we are going into, I think like a lot of places, because of this administration, we're going into a hiring freeze at this particular point. So everybody's, when I say people are doing the mad dash to get these last people in, paperwork, everything, my office included, everything. I was like, okay, so today is Wednesday. We realize we only have 2 more days. So if we not have them set up for an interview and not offering them something by Friday before the close of business, baby, we
it's not happening.
It's not going to happen. But of course, we got at least 2 interviews tomorrow. We'll probably have 3 or 4 on Friday. And I'm just like, okay, here we go. Then we got some people that we're trying to send information out to and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, I ain't gonna be worried about that because I'm only gonna do this time and get the fuck on out of here. I actually thinking about,
You all right there, girl?
I'm just saying, it comes on me suddenly, this thing of, where I falls out and, can't get up and go to work. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Yes.
Right. It starts right down in here. Right down. Right. Yeah. Right down in there.
Right.
Right. So we'll see how that goes. But besides that, it's been good. I don't really have too many issues. Been chitty chatting on the phone with people. Have a little, a DNA set up for later on the week. So like I'm in a good space. I'm good. Yeah. So it's been a good week for all intents and purposes. It's been a good week.
Excellent.
Indeed.
Well,
So,
let's say before we dive into anything else, let's say hello to the family. So Atlas showed up first,
hey,
Grace, and
Atlas was
then
first.
Manga. Atlas was first, yes.
Atlas was first. Hey, Manga, what's going on, baby? I didn't even see you in there. Eccentric.
And then Eccentric. Oh, and tomorrow is Atlas's birthday.
What?
Yes, it's Atlas's birthday.
He's having a birthday?
And guess where we are going on Friday as a special treat?
Chuck E. Cheese?
Yes, my water would love Chuck E. Cheese, but no, we're going back to Love Mikado.
Oh my God. Listen. What's going on, baby? Listen, Atlas, you are going to listen, baby. If you have never been to Love Mikado, I'm going to tell everybody that is the only place that I've ever been where I just wanted to chew the meat. I didn't want to swallow it. The motherfucking meat was so this Wagyu beef was fucking amazing. So, baby, get your life on this Wagyu beef.
And you know what I'm looking forward to.
Get your life. And don't go over into the other little town, the fat town, as I call it, where all the desserts.
Oh, we're definitely going to go and stop and get some pastries on the back end. So.
Yeah, listen, I'm just saying the pastries, but baby, you are going to enjoy. That was some of the best meat I have ever had.
I mean, we can go for my birthday. My birthday is in exactly 1 month from today.
Is it? Oh, today's the 26th. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I said, what? I was like,
today. We can do, actually, I'm planning to do something that weekend because my birthday is on a Wednesday, so it's unlikely that we'll do anything.
Well, that whole weekend is booked up. Remember, we got a whole bunch.
Yes, and Volt and Isu will be in town, so best friends 1 through 4 will be in town.
Yes. See what I'm saying? See I got kicked down. I'm at 5, 6, 7, 8.
I did not. You are second best friend.
Now wait a minute. The lies.
So let me establish the permanent order.
The lies you tell, baby. I have been the 5th best friend for now at least 7 months, bitch.
Let me establish the permanent order. Best friend.
Listen, everybody take notes. Take notes. Bookmark this. Bookmark all this. All of this. Bookmark all of this. All of this.
But best friend is best friend. Number 2 is shared by 3 people. Volt, Tap, and Epic. Because I can't choose. It's like choosing it's like choosing your favorite pair of shoes.
Bitch, listen.
And then third best friend is best friend from college. We talk, sometimes we still cool. That's still my dog. That's still like, we don't talk for like 6 months, but then you'll pick up the phone and be like, yeah, so like I was saying 6 months ago, like you pick it right up.
Baby.
Like we just talked yesterday. So,
baby. Wait. Is that bougie?
Yes.
All I know is somebody better get me some damn meat and drop it off tomorrow.
So if you recall last week, I was trying to ban someone and the chat was moving fast. And so as I was clicking the mouse to ban him, the screen jumped. And so I accidentally banned Bougie Girl. And through this app, when you ban someone, they can't be brought back. You can't go and like unban them. Their YouTube profile is permanently banned from the chat. So she had to go and use another one. So I'm gonna be much more careful.
Baby, Bougie, I'm sorry, baby.
She said I don't even get a ranking. Bougie Girl, you part of the good high school crew.
All I'm saying is, Bougie, he ain't even put you on the list.
Hold on now. Don't start no shit because you can get demoted. Best friend 2.1.
Oh God.
But yeah, so Bougie Girl showed up. We got Eccentric. Who else did we forget? We got Manga and Lola.
Lola.
Oh, and of
Her
course
name is
Monique.
Lola. Monique. So Monique is actually Monique is a friend of the family. We were just hanging out when we went to Pittsburgh, as a matter of fact, and to go see Milan perform at the Hard Rock Cafe. So I'm saying that the brother had a performance, and he did. It was a whole.
Was that
bunch
the one where you sent me the video?
Yes, a whole bunch of local queens in Pittsburgh who were like title holders or whatever. Everybody came to the Hard Rock and they performed. And listen, Milan showed up. So that's his stage name. Milan showed up and Milan turned the place out as usual. You know, you wait for that one person that kind of come in. And everybody's like, yeah. And then the music started to hit. This ass gets on stage, and I love him to death for it. But baby, when I say you are in your zone, he be in that music start. He'll be like, I was like, bitch. And again, I've watched him perform for years, but baby, I become a fan all over again every time I see him perform. So that was a great time. But Monique is that's how actually Monique and I met through the brother. So we kind of we've been hanging out. I've been to Monique's mom's house and her sister Quilla. Everybody's good. Matter of fact, y'all need to bring y'all raggedy asses down to the DMV. Hello, yes, bring y'all raggedy ass down to the DMV. Yes, yeah. People were falling asleep, and then that's when Milan popped up on stage. But anyway, so yes, Milan is Monique Monique and Aquila are actually friends of the fam, so they're good folks. But listen, they are a bunch of fun, absolute fun. So, where are we at now? So we were going through what you was going to get into something else. What would you going to get into?
Yeah, we're getting ready to get into the tickety talks.
Come on, get into these tickety talks here.
So we got quite a few. That's what we got 30 minutes.
Listen, we got because we got quite a few stories to get through too as well.
Oh shit! I gotta put it on the screen.
Yeah, don't forget to share the screen. Yep.
All right, let me start again.
18, my dad gave me $100 and said, go to a strip club. And we went to a Baltimore strip club for the first strip club.
It's Baltimore. How many lap dances could you get for $100?
Oh my God.
1,000?
Three. Yeah. I mean, three. I mean, there was still $30-$40 a song. They were
they gorgeous?
I was
they turned you on?
Listen, they put down a towel.
No,
again, I'm a virgin.
In Baltimore where they fucking put a towel down for what?
I think for me, honestly, you know, if they saw 18, we better put something between us. And they would sometimes do like isolations, like this butt cheek, and I was like, I'm not. Ooh,
you don't like the ambidextrous butt cheek?
Yeah. But this woman, she fingered herself and gave me a wet willy.
Stop! And that's a move I got to write down. I ain't never heard no shit like that. What? I'm doing that the next. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no one's ever done that to me since.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody know that's in the playbook.
Yeah. But when I turned 18.
So I am just going to go on record and say that is disgusting to me.
Baby, the way my insides are screaming like.
Listen, and I'm a gay man, and I know what I like, but I'm not one of those people that are squeamish around vagina. But I don't care if you stick your finger into any orifice and then put it in my ear, I'm not going to be happy. I don't care who you are. I'm just going to be like, and then I'll be like, bitch, now I got a fucking ear infection.
You're an ass.
So that is an absolute negative for moi. But I wanted to know what you thought about that. Because listen, some people might think that is sexy. And even as I'm telling you this story, I'm thinking about the time we were at Best Friends in Atlanta. Oh, you gotta, and speaking of which, we gotta talk about that because you gotta come with me to Atlanta when I judge Southeast Leatherfest. so we can go, because it's going to be the week after Pride. So we can go down to Atlanta, have a good old kiki for the weekend. That's your birthday weekend too.
This is going to be a lot. Oh my God. It's going to be
That's your birthday weekend too, because Pride is
because June
the parade is actually on the 7th.
Yeah.
And then that following weekend, the 14th, I will be in Atlanta. And if you come, we'll make a cute little celebration of it.
Oh my God, Pride Month is exhausting. Oh my God. I'm already tired before we even got there.
And what was I going to say? So remember, you know how Volt has a habit of sticking things in people's butts or whatever and putting it in my mouth. So remember, he took that glow stick and put it in the stripper's butt and then put it in my mouth. Now, I wasn't grossed out about that. So, but I feel like if that stripper had fingered herself and then put it in my mouth, I might have been surprised because I don't know what it's going to taste like or whatever. But putting it in my ear, whether whatever human being of whatever stripe fingers themselves and put it in my ear, my immediate thought is ear infection. And I have had really bad ear infections, so I'm not at all jazzed up. Now, because she put it in your mouth, I mean, your mouth got all kinds of bacteria, whatever. I'd have just been like, okay, sure. But sticking a finger full of whatever bodily fluids in my ear is not the move for me.
Listen, as someone that has indulged in all things body between both men and women, baby, I'm here for it. Listen, I'll put my face down in between them legs and get the munching and crunching and slurping and but baby, I don't do that. I don't know you.
What, like Grace? That. What would you try to say, Grace?
I don't know you
I'm
like
trying
that.
To say I'm open to the idea. I just don't want anybody's fluids in my ear. Now I say that as a bitch that do wet willies all the time.
Indeed. Wet willies and motherfucking and cigar passes. He'd be like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Like, what is this? But okay. All right.
Grace said coochie juice is just good for your ears. All right.
Lies. Listen, Grace, don't you start that shit. Grace, don't you start that shit. Don't you start that shit. Now go on. we going back to the tickety talks.
Give me a second. Next one.
Pepsi got saved after World War II for America's first all-black executive marketing team that started in the South, went all around the country singing the praises of Pepsi over Coke, and turned Chicago into a Pepsi town over Coke. Coke tried to shut Pepsi down and couldn't. Now Pepsi is twice as big as Coke. Black Americans saved Cadillac in 1934. They were on the auction block. They bought so many cars in 1 year, sales went up 70% because Black Americans have money during the Great Depression, and white people didn't because banks didn't want black people's money. And when banks failed and white people lost their money, Black Americans were a little better off than their white counterparts. The law of unintended consequences. Easy Rider Chopper, the famous white Harley Davidson with the American flag on the gas tank, 2 black designers. They were cut out of all the credits of the movie and story because the producer didn't like them. Your cell phone, 3 HBCU graduates make that thing go. The precision of GPS, your 3D imaging on your screen, and digital wireless networks. It's Virginia State, it's Morgan State, and it's Tennessee State. Your phone's a paperweight without 3 HBCU grads. HBCUs matter.
Baby, in this 2025 year of our Lord and this month of history called Black, get into it. On to the next one.
Yeah. So
girl, get out of here, girl. Like, listen, I love you to death, but I'm taping the show. Get out of here, girl. You're doing too much. My child wants to now be on the camera. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I mean, speaking of pussy.
Yeah. Yes.
This one, I love this woman.
If he cheats, change his toothpaste to mayo. If he cheats on you, spray his whole car with some oil fish. Pss, 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 pss. Let him drive around in the aroma of his bad decisions. Did you buy a notebook? If he cheats, fill his pockets with glitter. Betrayal is forever, and so is glitter. If he cheats and if you can, super glue his favorite shoes to the floor. Let him feel how it feels to be stuck in his own mess.
Are you taking notes?
If he cheats and if you can, replace his cologne with some toilet water. Let him smell like the trash he is. Many of you suggested that we put a shrimp in a cotton rod. If he cheats and you're really hurt, change his deodorant to glue stick. I know. Cheating is worse, okay? Are you judging me or taking notes? If he cheats.
So I have a couple of things here. First of all, I don't like her, but I feel like I'm gonna have to get a banana and some tahini.
Baby, here's the thing about you don't even got to get the tahini. So tahini is good, but baby, let's do you have any Tony Chachere's in your cupboard? Get you an orange and sprinkle a little of that Tony Chachere's on top of that orange, baby. Ooh. When I tell you the way your life will sparkle, you'll be like, ooh, 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 ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will have to try that.
Yes. Scott demands about that vandalism is a good way to get in trouble. If he's cheating, then be a woman and leave. Okay. Well, listen, I like her. I do like her.
Let's see. Who are we going to?
Monique. Monique. No. Monique, we will not. That's not what we're doing. That's not what
wait a minute. So, Monique, listen, the girls be seeing this advice online, or they see, like, remember that video a year or two ago where the girl blew up the man's car and the man was about, and she blew herself up in the process. It's like, girl, see, y'all be, not y'all, and I don't mean y'all as in women, but y'all as in people be seeing this shit online and be like, yeah, I sure will. I will burn up his car. Even on fucking Waiting to Exhale, when you do all that shit, girl, the consequences are set up to fuck you up.
Baby, listen, Monique, I ain't doing. Listen, let me tell you.
Don't be paying attention to Atlas. Don't be paying attention to Atlas.
Right, and let me give you my disclaimer. $50. $50. Listen, two of the best is in here. Manga, Desmond, tell them what the rest is. It's $50. Baby, I can Grace, $50. Please explain the rest of that. All of that. Please explain the rest of that. Everybody on this call, if they know me, they know when I say $50. $50. 50. Everybody can go explain. Because baby, if you get arrested somewhere, you get picked up somewhere, and there's some bail money that need to be established. Baby, all I got is $50. If your bail set at $10,000, baby, you call me when you get the $90.
Better come with $9,950.
I resolved myself to wearing red nail polish and called bust his window. Monique,
come on, Monique, bust his windows. I love that.
But exactly, Grace. $50 for bail. That's what I said.
Place the chilling feelings in his donut with toothpaste. Fresh lies deserves fresh bread. If he cheats, switch his chapstick with lipstick. Let him see how it feels to wear the mess. Are you guys taking notes? Who doesn't have a notebook? Raise your hand. If he cheats, sprinkle some birdseed on his car every morning so the nature can get to him before karma does. If he cheats, sew all his pockets shut since he cannot hold anything meaningful. Take notes. Put a sticker on his bumper sticker that says, "How's my cheating?" with his girlfriend's phone number. Take some cotton ball and soak it in sardine juice, okay? And put it in his car's vent. Take notes so he can basically smell like his behavior. Replace his milk with a watered-down mayo. Enjoy your coffee, Mr. Cheater. Also, I'm not suggesting you just stay in this crappy relationship. You can do whatever you want, okay? Last but not least, replace his cologne with bleach. And then leave. Take notes. If he...
So there's a couple of things. The fat assery of me is like cucumbers, lemon juice, and tahini on it. So that's one.
The side part is, Scott, what is going on? Why you sound a little upset? Like, what is going on? Or is there something you want to share with us? Like, have you been on one side or both? Like, what's going on?
Listen, this is all jokes, honey, and I'm with you, Scott. I mean, a real woman would just leave. I mean, if you want to play these games, some of these things rub up against the line of assault. And it's funny for shits and giggles. And girl, by no way are me or Epic endorsing any of this shit. And when the shit goes south for you, don't come looking at us, because we would just lead to do, because all of this is cute,
well,
right?
Now hold on. She brought up some very interesting. Listen, this, just like Lola said, that bumper sticker idea. Now, baby, I like that. That's
bumper sticker idea is cute.
I like that shit. Like I now that I do like. And the
now see replacing his cologne with bleach is cute until he accidentally sprays it in his eyes, and then now he's blind.
Now you're gonna say Epic told you to do it? Lies, garbage, and fairy tales. Because first off, baby, I don't even like bleach like that. And you can ask anybody on this call. Listen, I buy bleach because I have to, but baby, I do not even like the smell of bleach. So I'll be mad in a motherfucker. Mad.
Yeah. I would have just there's so many people, there's this whole culture around cheating and stuff. And I'm just like, girl, you don't have a one time to cheat on me for real. And I can honestly, mainly because I'm in this lifestyle, I've never been quote unquote cheated on. Well, yes, I have, probably once. Yeah. But I ain't gonna go through all of this. I'm gonna just leave because I'm a lover and a fighter.
That part. Now wait a minute. Now Tyra, the Visine in his drink. Now, baby, listen, that's gonna last a little bit longer, because that's almost like somebody told me. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna repeat that, because that part I'm not gonna do, because you wind up fucking
right, girl. Because
somebody told me something about a glass and some other stuff, but that's a whole nother. Listen, that's an off the air type of conversation. But anyway, on to the next one.
This one was funny but sad, but funny. But sad, but very funny.
My boyfriend, sort of. I mean, soulmate is gross, but yes, my boyfriend. I'm finally meeting him today, and I look like this.
You haven't met your boyfriend?
Not in person.
I met online.
A year ago, and it's been the most amazing year. Only over texts. Then I told him about my surgery, and he said he had to be here. Canceled everything. He's here in the hospital, and he brought irises. He remembered I loved irises. I was just freaking out.
Sheila Davis?
Yes. Is he here?
Yeah.
What? Who are you?
I'm James. Surprise?
No.
I know this isn't what you're expecting. I'm really sorry about that, but I just...
Oh my God.
When you told me you were sick and you needed surgery, I just couldn't wait.
You catfished her.
No, I just didn't want to...
Get out! Get out!
Security.
James, let's go.
James!
Get out!
James?
I mean... what? Some people, I read some of these comments, and people are like, oh, you're being shallow. I'm like, girl, when you meet somebody online, you don't have anything to go on but the picture that they give you and their words. And so you have built a relationship in your head, which could be genuine based on not only what he say, but the person that looked like that person saying those things. And I would have responded the same way, because baby, if I would have been like, bitch, I have just wasted a whole year of my life telling this man. And I'm not going to say that man is ugly, but he ain't black.
Well, that's not.
Well, no, the thing is that so let me go back to the picture. In the beginning, the picture that she shows this black doctor on the phone is of a black man. So this man literally looks nothing like this guy. It's not even a picture that's like 5 years old.
Well, listen, here's my thing. You can tell me whatever you need to tell me. And I am that person that if you catch my mind and or my heart, there's a lot of things I can overlook. so you make me laugh. Like I can work with that. Now, the fact that what you've sent me something completely different than what you are, that's the part that would piss me off. That's the part that would piss me off.
Yeah, because so Monique says shallow, no. Preference is preference, a lie is a lie. And that's the thing, this isn't even a picture of him 5 years ago, like pre-pandemic, and he done gained a few pounds. Right. This man is an entirely different race, an entirely different body type and structure. That black man had a full head of hair. This man is short, fat, and balding. And there is room in God's creation for short, black, short, fat, balding, and white. So that's not even the thing. It's that you don't look anything like the person, yet you chose somebody that looks exactly like the kind of person that you want.
Right.
And so you expect them to overlook the fact, ugly or not, I'm not even judging how this person looks. I'm just saying that the kindest way I can say it is that he is not conventionally attractive to most people. He is on the ends of the bell curve of attractiveness.
We are just going to go ahead and dash on over this and go to the next video, because I feel like we're down the rabbit hole, and yeah, it's getting slipperier and slipperier. Mm-hmm.
Interesting too, Tommy.
What?
Is that all the girls in college that were whores back then, like even now they have kids and husbands, and I'm like, yeah, but you're still a whore.
Yeah, of course.
Because I knew you when you were a whore.
When a whore, like if she's a whore in her heart, that never leaves.
Whore is in the heart.
Yeah. That's in your wiring.
Yeah, it's in your DNA to be a hoe. So like, can a hoe ever be a mom?
Yes, they can be a mom.
Yeah, but they're always a hoe.
But they're always a hoe. Yeah. Even on their deathbed. In their 80s, they're still hoes. Look at this old dying hoe.
Yeah.
As the kids say, those girls belong to the streets.
Do you want to know what's interesting?
So before I weigh in on what I think, I want to know what you think.
I'm sorry. Listen, it's the hoe and the whore in me that really don't. All I got to say is like, okay, well, bitch, I mean, it sounds like you mad. Why you mad?
Right, exactly. Because wait a minute. So you're saying that the girls that she's referencing were in college, they were unmarried, they didn't have any kids, and they fucked a lot of dudes, as many people in college do. They were experimenting, they were finding themselves, they were enjoying their lives and enjoying a lot of dick. Then they got a little older, they got married, and now you're slut shaming them because they were able to live their life in a way that you either couldn't or were unable to.
Couldn't.
And listen, you calling them a whore only speaks to you, because everybody got a past. Let's just be clear. You're mad because you have no past. Those girls that she's talking about spent their 20s getting good dick.
Them hoes is mad because they could never.
She's mad. Let me add her back to the stage. She's mad because she could never.
Exactly.
Those girls spent their 20s getting good dick, and then
getting good dick, sampling it, and then settling down with the dick that they wanted to settle down with. How about that? How about that?
And then, for her to be like, you're still a whore and you're desperate. No, she's a grown ass woman who enjoyed a part of her life and then realized that she, at some point, you just can't keep fucking random dudes all the time.
I mean, and she could, but she chose not to.
And she could, exactly. But I just this whole and lots of people in the comments agreed with this blonde woman here. That was like, yeah, she was a whore for fucking all these dudes. I was like, Girl, she was living her fucking life and having a good old time. If you can't be a whore in your 20s, I mean, if you can't be a whore in your 20s when you are single and unmarried, when can you do it?
Listen, you can do whatever the fuck. But anyway, I go on to the next one because I
was a young thought. Now I'm an adult thought. Don't shame my thought life.
Girl,
we remember we was there. We've seen your thought life.
Right. I've seen your thought life before marriage. So like what I mean, what? It's okay. It's all right. Still love you.
My mother, she's had it for years. It's traveled through the family. My relatives came home with this bracelet, and it has been in my family's possession ever since that time. The Lum family did petition the government to be reimbursed for the plantation, and eventually, after like 30 years, they were reimbursed for their mansion.
And so, what do you think this is?
I think that it's a slave bracelet. I would like to think that my relatives helped to free the slaves, and that was one of the ones that they freed, or maybe they found. I think that this is the name of the slave holder and then the name of the slave underneath it. Am I right?
It's a dog collar.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack.
Oh.
There never was any such thing as a slave bracelet.
I got this.
We're gonna go on to the next one because
I just can't. I just can't let it go that this bitch was like, yes, girl. Like the slaves was like, yes, girl. Do you see my bling? I'm like, girl, please read some actual history. And also another thing, like Lola said, the bleep. You could clearly hear her saying slave. So what the fuck was the point of bleeping it out? That was just annoying to me.
Whatever. I'm going on to the next one.
All right, let me get now. I'm going back. I'm going to the save for the show. We already went through that one.
Portia and the conductor, Monique.
It really does. It really does. The stations on the Underground Railroad.
Oh God.
Articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black.
Hold on.
Data from the CDC. And
I need to go back to go for it. Could you hear that?
No,
but you can hear the sound.
Yes, I clearly heard. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead on back.
Right, so now we're ready. 3, 2, 1.
You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that. And it's directly related to what you were just talking about. You know, the thing about nationalism, you're
She said, I'm not voting for you because you're an Indian.
You are so.
Listen. If this is not a prime example of what the thought process is with a lot of these folks that are these white folks that are living in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, listen, she has just, if you never thought you'd hear them say that, baby, she is a prime example of what I believe some of these older folks and younger folks are constantly sitting around the house saying and thinking and doing behind closed doors.
Girl, she just said to your face that she liked everything that you said. So she was aligned to your vision, because this was Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever his name was that ran for president whatever. She just said she liked the things that you said. She was aligned to your profile, but she said she was never going to vote for you, not because you were a candidate that she didn't think could win. So you weren't like Jill Stein or Ralph Nader or whatever. She said she was not going to vote for you because you were Indian. So you thought it was cool in the beginning when she was making fun of American black people. You thought that was cool.
Oh, and you laughed your ass off.
You laughed your ass off.
You just realized that they put everything into that.
You realize that you was just another flavor of nigga.
That's all that you in the same pot as everybody else. Which is what. Listen, don't get me started talking about these people being picked up at the border and they done voted for this man. And please don't get me started because listen, this is a prime example of what the fuck is going. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have no sympathy for him. So you know what, girl? She just told you to your face that you, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you could give her a check for $1 million. You still be like, I'm still not fucking with you because you were Indian. So
and wait a minute. And the other part is you can tell someone that they are bright and they are articulate. You just don't have to attach for a black person. Because if you're bright and you're articulate, you're fucking bright and articulate.
Yeah. Especially in these days, because a lot of people are not bright and articulate, regardless of their color, the color of their skin.
Dumbass is dumbass.
Right.
Well, right now, some trouble for a newly opened Center City restaurant.
Oh, side note, this was the spot that we were talking about going to in Philadelphia.
Yes.
The business owner claims she's being bullied by neighbors, harassed, who simply are not happy her business is there. Chubby Chicks opened up shop on Walnut Street. Our Alex George spoke with the owner about what all is happening here.
This small business just opened up 2 months ago, but in that time, they say they've received dead rodents on their door, complaints made to their landlord, and even received comments that their business doesn't belong in a prestigious neighborhood.
My life savings, my home, all that's wrapped up into this business. So it's not just if I have to go. No, it would be devastating.
Chubby Chicks just opened up at 1111 Walnut Street 2 months ago. It's a place where people come to eat brunch and celebrate.
We do karaoke on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's so much fun. It's inclusive. You come here and you be yourself. And that's what everything is about here.
So we don't need to watch the whole thing. All I'm going to say is that Onyx is planning to be in Philadelphia.
Girl, we coming to Chubby Chicks because I heard about. Listen, I see both Monique and Desmond then talk. Listen, I'm gonna need full reports because I'm showing up because I had one from another friend of mine I went to college with, and she literally sent me a video from it. Baby, I'm all in for Chubby Chicks. Just hold on, girl, because I'm coming. I'm gonna come up in there. I'm gonna be one of the chicks.
You're gonna be there in about a month.
Yes.
You're very handsome. I like your chocolate skin.
Thank you.
So if you were looking for something serious, would that be serious?
No, I'm not in the dark skins.
Okay. Is that something might be a type?
No, he's too tall.
Too tall?
Yeah.
And how tall do you want somebody to be? You're like 5'3".
I'm 5'6", but at the end of I'm a top majority in a relationship. I'm on the top first. And it's I don't climb trees. Yeah, I don't climb trees. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that short, but at the end of the day, I like what I like.
What? Listen.
These shows just be making people look dumb. You really should not go on these shows, talk about whatever. Because the one dude was like, he's dark skinned.
And he don't like the dark
skins.
What? You short and dark.
Said, you're 5'3". He was like, I'm 5'6", which means he's probably 5'4".
Listen, and you're short and dark. So what?
And don't get me wrong. Listen, I love a short man, and I don't deal with tops, but that's neither here nor there. But my thing is, just don't go on these shows because you just be making yourself look dumb.
And the sad part is when some of these folks go on these shows, then their inboxes are getting blown the fuck up. Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, of course, Tyra, we know you like them big and tall. Look at your man.
Right. Your man, listen.
Ain't your man what, like 6'4"?
Can't nobody call him short and can't nobody call him small. That man is, listen, that he is a large man. And he is, listen, he is your man. That's what he is. As nice as he is your large man.
妈已经了，上来还不都是打子还不都死啊？小朋友们，不要吵啊！要注意这个公共环境啊，秩序啊。
I'm 100% with this man because, baby, I have been on the train or something, and I was like, I just really need everybody to shut the fuck up.
Listen.
Wait a minute, Tyra, your husband is 6'8"? I didn't think he was that tall.
Bitch, we listen, between the two of us, we kicking 6 foot in the ass, and we looked up to him at the fucking wedding.
I mean, I knew he was tall, but I just don't. To me, 6'8" is like scraping the door frame, and maybe I just never saw him against a door frame. Yes, I knew he was tall, but yeah.
He made Tyra look like she was a midget.
That's true.
And Tyra is like our height. No,
That's
actually, Tyra's taller than us. Yeah, well, dude, she got on heels. I can't remember, but I'm like, listen.
That's how I am sometime on the train. I'll be like, so this is why I prefer to sit in business class, but my real preference
have our damn room
is the room, yes, but is to sit in the quiet car because by definition you got to shut the fuck up.
But now here's the thing. These kids, they were probably going on some sort of school project or something that they just they just being kids. And that's the thing about kids. Unfortunately, they're just going to be kids. But listen, if you are that crotchety adult, that will be me. I don't want to be around a whole bunch of let me let y'all go because I'm gonna.
And also, I feel like this, but to keep me from being this guy, that's why I always have noise canceling headphones with me. I literally, so this is my work bag, right?
Wait a minute. Let me address this in the chat. How could I remember how tall you are when I was late seeing you? You mean the time you didn't show up and I didn't see you at all? Because I have no idea of how to put that in perspective. I just want to make sure we got that out there.
So as I was saying, this is my work travel bag. So whenever I get ready to go on a trip, I always travel. Notice you can't really see it real good on the screen, but notice that I have a pair of noise canceling headphones that is the same color as the bag.
Right.
I honestly did not plan that. It just happened to be one of the colors that's available. But I keep these headphones in the bag. So when I am on the train, I always am ready. Like, and I have another one, in my little purse, my little day bag that I carry with me. I have another pair that's white. So I have a pair of earbuds with me at all times, so I don't have to be bothered.
Yeah, you ain't got to get ready when you stay ready.
Exactly.
Yep. Baby.
So this is a full chop for me.
So listen, what I liked about this was the D Squared fashion show that happened. I think it was last week or earlier this week. Naomi was there. Doechii came out and performed. A whole bunch of people came out. And what I actually loved was the fact that Doechii recreated that scene, that famous runway scene where Naomi they were getting off of a plane and she came running down the aisle like she was trying to get onto the plane and then stopped before they got onto the plane, turn around and then walk back down the runway. Like Doechii kind of reenacted that. So I enjoyed the nostalgia of that and the way the show was put together and the fact that it was like real hodgepodge mix of different things that was very eclectic because they had a couple ballroom kids out there. They was pop dipping and spinning. I enjoyed all of that. But now this young man in these knees, I feel like they should have gave him a little bit more time to walk in these heels.
Yeah, I was just like, this is a chop for me. God bless his ministry, though.
Listen.
Anyway, so this is the last one.
Recently, Ananda Lewis shared that her breast cancer has spread after she decided to keep her tumor as opposed to having surgery.
I felt like my
My body is intelligent. I know that to be true. Our bodies are brilliantly made. They know what they're doing, and we mess them up, whether we know how that we're messing them up or not. I decided to keep my tumor and try to work it out of my body a different way.
So instead of surgery, she opted for homeopathic remedies, medication, radiation, better sleep, and diet. Now, the reason why her cancer was not caught sooner is because Ananda refused to get mammograms.
For a really long time, I have refused mammograms. And that was a mistake. I watched my mom get mammogrammed for 30 years almost. And at the end of that, she had breast cancer. And I said, radiation exposure for years, breast cancer. Yeah, I'm going to pass. Thanks anyway. I am stubborn. I'm going to admit that up front. Those of you who know me know that's true. And I stand by that thinking. I stand by the research that shows that an accumulation of radiation in your body can cause cancer. And here comes the but. But what I didn't understand, and what I need you to understand, the reason I'm here telling you my business is because if I had done the mammograms from the time they were recommended when I turned 40, they would have caught the tumor in my breast years before I caught it through my own breast exam, self-exam, and thermography. And they would have caught it at a place where it was more manageable, where the treatment of it would have been a little easier. Instead, what I'm dealing with is stage 3 breast cancer that is in my lymphs. I need you to get your mammograms.
I don't think.
So I have a couple of thoughts. So I'm going to post what people are saying. Atlas says dumb, and Lola says, man, she really is not smart. And I'm just like,
I don't know if she.
But was taught respect for education.
Yes.
And do Black people sometimes have adverse outcomes when dealing with various and sundry what do you call it? Medical professionals? But I'm just like, for you to be like, I'm not going to get a mammogram because the accumulation of radiation, that just doesn't make any sense. It speaks to, you know, it's like people right now that are not getting measles because they're like, well, what does this person know who went to medical school for 5 years and then did a residency and it is now a doctor? He doesn't know anything. It's the guy that I saw on the internet that really knows about the measles. And now a child is dead because of the measles. The measles. So on one level, I feel sorry for her, but on the other hand, I'm like, fuck her, because this is entirely avoidable. Well, not entirely avoidable, because people get cancer all of the time. But like she said, she could have caught this early, and I need Black people to stop investing in these ridiculous ass conspiracies. You can get information and then run it through a filter, but bitch, unless you went to medical school, I mean, everything is not a conspiracy. If you believe in God, God allowed your cousin to get his medical degree, or get her allow her to become a medical doctor to give you advice. It's not all a trick by the devil. And homeopathic medicine is not real medicine.
Eccentric summed this up really great, where he said, we are living in the age of idiocy. Yes, it is her choice. Yes, it is her body. But like she said, she still made a simple and dangerous choice that she's paying dearly for.
And people, I mean, Ananda Lewis listen, I do feel bad for her on one hand, like I said, but Ananda Lewis also has a voice. And if somebody sees Ananda Lewis and thinks, oh, I don't have to get breast cancer, like Ananda Lewis, they're going to realize, perhaps too late, that they should have been getting regular mammograms. So is there some medical evidence that the accumulation of radiation could cause a mammogram, but there's a lot of things where if you do too much of it over time, you don't do it. And just to be like, my mother got mammograms for 30 years and then she caught, it's called confirmatory bias. I think that's the right term. Is because you assume that something is to be the case that it is. So, all right, so maybe the accumulation of radiation had some contributing factor to it, but more than likely, Ananda Lewis's mother, and now Ananda, has a genetic predisposition to breast cancer. Most of these cancers have a genetic predisposition. It's only in places where you are exposed to like gross amounts of radiation, like you grew up next to Chernobyl or something.
Exactly.
You randomly get these cancers. Most other people, if you get cancer, like there's a history of prostate cancer in my family. That's why I have my regular screening, but every time I go to the doctor, I'm like, we should probably do another one just in case, because my father had it and both of my grandfathers had it. And my father's father died from lung cancer, although he smoked cigars like every fucking day. So, but still, you get my point. So, you can sort of, you can use Western medicine as a tool, but don't just dismiss it because it's hard.
Listen, I'm not getting ready to say nothing, but I do wish her well. I don't know if Ananda married, if she ever had children. I don't know where she is in her life. I just don't know, but I do wish her well. And I do hope that that there is something that will change for her for the better, whatever that is. So we'll see. And we'll be watching this.
Yes.
That's all I got.
So, again, I really do hope that, it's better, but I'm serious about this because, Black people don't have the option of this kind of shit. We're already predisposed to the worst outcomes of cancer or any other disease. And then if you are not getting the best that medical care has to offer within the realm of your possibility, you're making the situation much worse. You're a poor Black person and you get breast cancer and you're like, no, I'm going to take homeopathic medicine. Well, girl, you don't even have enough money and other resources to get all of the homeopathic medicines that will help you anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just annoyed. This Kettle One.
It's all right. It's gone, but it's all right.
Hallelujah. Anyway, so you got some stories for us, baby?
I do. So let's jump right into some of these stories. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I got a lot of stuff to cover in these stories. So I'm going to go through it a little bit fast, but I'm going to go through it and kind of hit the highlights. All right. So bear with me. It's 9:16. We're going to try to get through this by 9:40, just to make sure. Okay. So listen, Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G., his mom, Voletta Wallace, she died Friday morning on the 21st. She was in hospice care. Voletta carried Biggie's legacy after his death. She was overseeing his estate and was trying to pass down his wealth through his family, even through his daughter. She did a great job. It started out, his estimated net worth was around $10 million. And when he died, and so it's now ballooned up to an estimated $160 million. Wow. She celebrated her son and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and her Instagram account was mostly dedicated to his achievements. She posted about his foundation, his streaming numbers, tribute concerts, pop culture references, all that stuff. She was a mom that loved her child, and she did a lot for him in death as well. Rest in peace, Ms. Wallace. Thaddeus Matthews, otherwise known as the Cussin' Pastor, the well-known talk show host and radio personality, he died Monday as well. He referred to himself as the Cussing Pastor, and gained a large social media following with over 103,000 total followers on Facebook. and more than 7,000 followers on Instagram, and 78,000 subscribers on YouTube. So listen, again, like, click, and share so we can get to 78,000 like the custom pastor did.
Baby, if we get to 78,000, baby, I might not have to worry about the job. Neither one of us might not have to worry about the job anymore. Imagine the content that we could create if we ain't have to go to regular jobs.
But I'm gonna stay in this frame here. So one of the newscasters spoke with his wife Melanie, and she told him that he died at a hospital after suffering from heart failure. He said the family had been at a rehab facility for the past 5 months. He was 67 years old when he died on the 24th. Another person that we just lost, Jerry Butler. He was the future politician, but he also you might remember him as the Iceman, and he wrote a lot of the songs that a lot of artists that you may know coming up in our parents and grandparents eras from the 1950s and 60s. He has had his songs that have been sampled by several artists like Method Man, Snoop, Missy, a whole bunch of other artists. At one point in time when he first came out, him and Curtis Mayfield went on to form a group called The Impressions, and had Mr. Butler as the lead singer. And they named the group The Impressions because the group's manager felt like they left a good impression. And their first hit was For Your Precious Love. He went on to work with legendary songwriter producers Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, creators of the Sound of Philadelphia. Their hits, Never Gonna Give You Up, Hey Western Union Man, and Only the Strong Survive, which Mr. Butler said grew out of his mother's words of wisdom when his high school romance ended. He also ran for, served on the county board of his, oh my gosh, I can't even, what town? I forgot what town, but he served on the county board in his hometown. And he was actually trying, again, like I said, he was trying to become a politician. So that's why I said the future politician as well. But his voice was stilled by Parkinson's disease on Thursday night, February the 20th. He was 85. So rest in peace, Jerry the Iceman Butler. Gwen McCrae, legendary disco and soul vocalist, she also died as well. Her passing, or the news of her passing, emerged on social media earlier this week. She's been known for such songs as Rocking Chair, Keep the Fire Burning, All This Love That I'm Giving. She was a young lady that was born in Pensacola, Florida. She first sang in local clubs as a teenager, performed alongside groups like the Lafayettes and the Independents. Together with her husband, George, she signed to TK Records, and they had some success on the U.S. R&B charts with a 1970s lead single, or a single that said, Lead Me On. She always had another song called Always On My Mind, and that was released 2 years later. But here's the thing that many of you might remember her as, or might remember her for singing. That Funky Sensation. Listen, that song and the way that it's been remixed and it's been reused, because Disclosure made use of that Funky Sensation. That's probably what a lot of you know her from, if you hear that song Funky Sensation. Rest in peace to her. Lastly, Roberta Flack has passed on. Roberta Cleopatra Flack, to be known specifically, the daughter of musicians, was born in Black Mountain, North Carolina, raised in Arlington, Virginia. She was a gospel fan as a child, and she was so talented that a piano player of that age, at 15, she received a full scholarship to Howard, the HBCU. She was discovered in the 1960s by jazz musician Les McCann, who later wrote that her voice touched, tapped, trapped, and kicked every emotion he's ever known. They said that she was versatile enough to summon up the up-tempo gospel passion of Aretha Franklin. Flack often favored a more reflective and measured approach. She retired from singing in 2022 after revealing that she had ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease, but she died at home surrounded by her family. She was 88 at her passing, and rest in peace to her. Legend, Killing Me Softly.
Can I just pause right there, right? So I give people the benefit of not knowing. And I think if you are a person our age, it's possible that you didn't know that some of the songs that we grew up with in the 80s and early 90s were remakes. But I saw some people that was like, Roberta Flack did the song that the Fugees did, and I was like,
no,
it was her song. And so, like, and I don't mean these people were being dead ass serious that they didn't know that whatever I can't remember the name of the Fuji songs, but what it was a remake or it's sampled from Roberta Flack's song. And I'm just like, how in the age of information can you not have known this?
And here's the other thing, something that I found out as well. That song, Killing Me Softly, that the Fugees did, literally, it was said, she actually said it was a heartbroken 19-year-old Lori Lieberman who wrote Killing Me Softly in 1972. And it was initially written as a poem on a napkin after a Don McLean concert. Flack heard the ballad on an American Airlines flight from LA to New York City and played it 5 times. She then rearranged the record from the opening of chord structure and made it her own. She shared that the record was given to me as a gift. And she said, while on tour, or it was in this documentary, they were saying while on tour with Quincy Jones that year, she performed it for the first time. Due to the audience's response, Jones said, do not sing that daggone song no more until you record it. And her version was released in January of 1973, topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 5 weeks, and later won 2 Grammys for Record of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Performance Female. So Roberta was that girl. Let's be clear. Something else that I found out about her that I didn't know, that Clint Eastwood helped her to make Grammy history. Back in 1968, she was performing. She had been performing at a nightclub and caught the attention of Les McCann, and he helped her get an audition for Atlantic Records. And after 3 years of it being out, Clint Eastwood heard for the first time ever I Saw Your Face on her debut album, First Take on the radio, and he then wanted to put that song in his movie, Play Misty for Me. And she wanted to change some parts of it. He said, absolutely not. Don't change everything. I want every note, every breath, everything. And again, she won Record of the Year at the 1973 Grammys and won again the following year with Killing Me Softly. She became the first artist in history to win Record of the Year for 2 consecutive years. Again, Roberta was that girl. She produced under her alter ego, Rubina Flake. And she said that a couple of her friends talked about Rubina, but she was basically saying that Rubina was another part of her, and she was the part that was able to endure the indignities faced by gifted Black children in the South. And when she was saying, carry me back to Old Virginia for contest judges in hotels where she wasn't allowed to stay for the night, her alter ego helped her feel glamorous and capable. And when others told her she was imperfect, so she had no need to respect others' restrictions. She produced records like Feel Like Making Love under the pseudonym, and people didn't want to give her full credit for it. However, she refused to have limitations on her contributions and paved the way for other female producers. So again, Roberta was that girl. She was signed without someone hearing her voice, number one. Her first album, First Take, wasn't a hyperbole. It was actually recorded in one take after they flew her to New York City to record for the first time. She recorded 40 songs and they chose the best 8. Listen, that debut album included Compared to What, Trying Times, The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face, and The Ballad of the Sad Young Man. Listen, again,
baby, the first time I ever saw your face will bring you to tears. Roberta sing those kind of songs, right? Where you don't need to hear them when you are going through heartbreak, because baby, you will fall the fuck apart.
Listen, it's Roberta and also our girl Sadie. Baby, listen, don't be
Phyllis Hyman.
Baby, listen, that's the trilogy right there. You dead. You got Roberta.
Baby, that is a sitting in the tub with a glass of wine and a sharp blade. Listen, I'm not advocating suicide, but you know what I mean.
You giving Sylvia Plath at that particular point, but
yes.
Anyway, she met. So a lot of people know that she and Donny Hathaway were good friends. So she met Donny at Howard. They said they were kindred spirits with a creative electricity between them that she initially mistook as a crush. She was one of the last people who spoke with him before his tragic death. After the incident, she kept a light on in her living room because it was the last piano Hathaway played. It was where he wrote a song titled "Lift My Spirits" after not having written for several years and played it for her. Amazing. She was also close friends with Yoko Ono. She was the first Black woman to live at the Dakota, an iconic apartment building in the Upper West Side of New York City. John Lennon used to practice and write music on a grand piano that was the wall over from her place. She and Yoko worked together on Goodbye Sadness after John's death. And Yoko said that she has the capacity to take songs as a tool to express herself, but each time that she does that, it becomes Roberta. And she said, Yoko said that she was there was a beautiful spiritual exchange between them, and they helped each other battle the sexism they face in the industry. And also, the other part of this is Roberta was married. Her ex-husband, Steve Novosel, in 1964, was this white man that she married. And they got married in July of 1965 and lived in Virginia prior to the Supreme Court case, Loving versus Virginia, about interracial marriage. Her family accepted him while his family disowned him for several years. And her husband said he was unaware of how good a musician she was, despite singing race records, Novosel said. She was a strong lady with convictions about her music and where she wanted to go. I knew that, and I was as supportive as I could be, but I knew it would be a rough road for her. And with her blossoming success, he was still running around making $10 gigs. So he said he had to go. So good for you for letting her go on and do what she was going to do. But here's the thing. You couldn't stop her because it was still going to be about Roberta. I just wanted to point that out there. So the fact she left you, it just happened a little bit sooner, but it was going to happen. So those are a couple of things that I learned about Roberta Flack just over the past couple of days. But rest in peace, young lady. We're a different world without you, and glad that your music is still here. So that's where we are. There's been some shakeups going over at MSNBC. MSNBC reportedly informed a majority of staffers who worked on the Rachel Maddow's primetime show that they were being let go as part of the network's restructuring. And it also resulted in the cancellation of Joy Reid's program. Now, listen, if you all don't know who Joy Reid is another one. She is that girl. Joy Reid, she had a show on MSNBC called The Reid Out. And after they let her go, she wound up finally breaking her silence on a podcast. And she was emotional. And she was saying on this podcast that she was not sorry. And she said she's been through every emotion from anger, rage, disappointment, guilt. She said that I let my team lose their job. This is what she was saying. This was a 10-minute, it was a Zoom call on the podcast, Win with Black Women. This was this past Sunday. She is definitely a left-wing firebrand. She's been criticized for her remarks about white people, including referring to white tears, as well as a statement that white women, quote unquote, did not show up to vote for former Vice President Kamala Harris in the recent election. Her attacks on President Trump, which were amazingly, hilariously, accurately delivered in a lot of cases. But when the shakedown when the shakedown happened, of course, number 45 or 47 or whatever, or Orange Peel, whatever, had something to say. And he called her a mentally obnoxious racist. But again, she stood in her space, 10 toes down, and said she wasn't sorry. She said she said, I'm not sorry that I stood up for those things. The Reid Out regularly covered a lot of different topics, including Black Lives Matter, Asian Americans being targeted, Gaza and immigrants. In the end, she said, where I really land is just gratitude. She said, just pure gratitude and gratitude, not just because people would take the time to get on a call like this or to take care of me, but also that my show had value. And the fact that she's been let go from this program in this public eye, doing all the things that she needed to do, and the first thing she said that she was practicing at this particular point or feeling was gratitude, maybe that speaks a lot about her and what she's here for and what her goals are, what her purpose is. So listen, going back to MSNBC and their shakedown or whatever. But like I said, Joy Reid's wound up going. But I found it interesting that a lot of her team, Rachel Maddow's team, a lot of the color, if you will, and other shows were canceled. So Alex Wagner, Katie Fang, Jonathan Capehart, Ayman Moyeldin, and Jose Diaz-Balart. Again, all of these people were let go from Rachel Maddow's production team. And so it makes you wonder why. Well, it's people are saying that MSNBC has always found ways to redistribute the staff without cutting positions. But they said that this approach marks a notable departure from previous practices and comes at a challenging time for this cable news industry at large. Now, sources in DC have privately voiced concerns that the new roles MSNBC is posting, that they're asking these people that they fired to reapply for, may predominantly be based in New York City, where union negotiated hourly pay rates are reportedly lower. Employees worry that accepting these new positions may require relocation, further complicating their employment status, and the uncertainty surrounding the changes have left many staffers on edge. So listen, MSNBC, shame on you if that's what you're doing because you're trying to save a dollar and you have put all these people out of their jobs and out of their livelihoods just so you can cut their wages from where they are. But listen, this is where we are. This next story that I want to talk about, it's kind of funny, but it's not. There was a man that was busted in the airport trying to smuggle cocaine. This Colombian man was arrested for attempting to smuggle cocaine worth thousands under his toupee. It was announced on Monday that this suspect was caught before taking a flight to Amsterdam from Cartagena's Rafael Núñez International Airport. Now, and I quote, this individual was profiled by one of our experts and subjected to the procedure. This was by one of the Cartagena police. And they said through the scanner and body search, the wig was found, which contained more than 220 grams of cocaine that he intended to take to this country, Amsterdam. And with this criminal profits, that's what he was going to make as well. He was 40 years old and taken into custody, and he was taken into custody on manufacturing and carrying narcotic substances and suspicion of trafficking charges. I don't know what the suspicion.
What? What you mean? This is my natural hair. What? Excuse me? No, pay no attention to that.
Listen,
this is my natural hair.
There's a video that shows the officer cutting the man's hairpiece, exposing the 19 fillable tablets or drug-filled tablets. It's absolutely hilarious. And they said the cocaine was worth an estimated 10,000 euros or about $10,515 in US dollars. So again,
you would have been better putting them tablets up your butt.
Listen, once you mark it up yourself, that's how he's going to make his money. So, but listen, kudos to those that are being creative and putting this, because when I saw the video and I looked at him, I was like, I would have never even thought about anything other than, hey, he's just tall. But hey, whatever. That's all I got. Going to celebrate some birthdays or talk about some birthdays that have been celebrated in the last week. CBS newsman Bob Schaefer is 88. Talk show host Sally Jessica Raphael is 83. Actor director Bill Duke is 82. Barry Bostwick turns 80. Edward James Olmos turns 78. Patricia Robertson, she played the mom on Home Improvement. She's 74. Michael Bolton turns 72. Kyle MacLachlan turns 66. Many of you may remember him from Dune and also from Sex and the City. Comedian Carrot Top turns 60. Veronica.
See, I would have thought he is much older than that.
Baby, the way I'm looking at these pictures, and I'm like, that's all that you are? But wait, it gets better. So Carrot Top turns 60. Kristen Davis, I'm sorry. Actor and model Veronica Webb is 60. Kristen Davis turns 60. Actress Tia Leone turns 59. Jerry Ryan turns 57. Jerry Ryan turns 57? Okay. Billy Zane turns 59. Now listen, if you ain't seen Billy Zane, and right, there's a picture of Billy Zane right now. That man looked kind of good. I'm just going to say it out there.
Tyra said his facelift is 60, referring to Carrot Top.
Well, okay. TV personality Damon John from Shark Tank is 56. TV co-host Clinton Kelly from What Not to Wear is 56. Erykah Badu turned 54, along with Sean Astin, who turned 54. Justin Jeffrey of 98 Degrees is 52. James Blunt turns 51. Chelsea Handler turns 50. Chelsea Handler is only 50 years old. Drew Barrymore just turned 50. Kyle Norman of Jagged Edge turns 50. Actress Rashida Jones turns 49. Director James Wan turns 48. Emily Blunt turns 42. Actor Aziz Ansari from Parks and Recreation, who I think is absolutely hilarious, turns 42. Jamila Jamil turns 39. Daniel Kaluuya turned 36. Rapper O'Shea Jackson Jr., that would be Ice Cube's son, turned 34.
His fine son.
Listen, and his daddy too. Actress Dakota Fanning turned 31. Dakota Fanning is 31 years old. Only 31 years old. But okay, I just want to see what I'm saying, Tyra? Right there. We went right there. Billy Zane. I'm just saying. Fine as fuck. But okay. Other popular birthdays, Jackie Gleason, Tony Randall, both actors, Johnny Cash, the musician, Fats Domino, a musician, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, or Auguste Renoir, the artist, George Harrison, Willem Carl Grimm of Grimm's Fairy Tales, Abe Vigoda, Steve Jobs, Floyd Mayweather turns 48 actually. George Frederick Handel, the composer, celebrated a birthday as well. W.E.B. Du Bois, civil rights activist. Peter Fonda, George Washington, the first U.S. president. Ted Kennedy, Julius Erving, Dr. J is 75, and baby Dr. J actually looks pretty damn good to be 75. Steve Irwin is also celebrating birthday, or would have celebrated a birthday as well. I do have one social media slay. And if you can put this up on the screen, I just want to put this out here. Now, this was a Facebook post, and I'm trying to be more selective with what I'm doing, but this was somebody posting this up. So there was a picture that was posted on somebody's chat that says, let's celebrate who is not your president this Black History Month. And I cannot remember who posted the actual the original picture, but then Martin Dowdy posted underneath of it celebrating Violent Crime Month, talking in February with again the red, yellow, and green, I guess to try to talk about Black History Month, which we already know is red, black, and green. But okay, now one of these people that follow him decided to comment on his post. Stacey Patton said, Martin Dowdy, because that's who posted this whole thing. She said, oh, Martin, you wheezing, slack-jawed, undercooked genetic misfire. You really thought you snapped with these names, didn't you? Sat there in your dimly lit, piss-scented living room, gut spilling over the waistband of your Walmart jeans, smirking like you've just delivered the Gettysburg Address of Facebook racism. I can hear the Confederate ghosts sobbing in the background as they realize that their entire bloodline struggled, fought, and lynched Black people just to produce you, a dollar store David Duke. They burned crosses for you, Martin. You really sat at your crusty little laptop, fingers coated in Dorito dust, crafting the same stale, unseasoned, knockoff racist drivel that has been recycled since your grandpappy was scribbling slurs on whites-only signs. You wish Black people gave a damn about your existence. You're just another damp, neck-bearded failure in a long line of men who peaked in high school assuming you made it that far. Black History Month will continue, Black excellence will continue, and you will never matter. You've contributed nothing to the world except proof that natural selection is falling behind schedule. You flaccid, basement-dwelling, evolutionary dead end whose greatest contribution to society will be decomposing. Baby, the way I read this in my bed, and I sat up straight in my bed, and I was just like, Stacey Patton, baby, you did all of that. You did all of that with this. So that is a social media slave for me. Baby, you did all of that. This next one was posted by, and I found it to be kind of funny. It was posted by a Facebook friend, Cameron Papacito Anubis. He actually has some great gear if you're into leather gear and stuff. But it was a repost by him from this other group called The Sick and Twisted. And this post, I just found it interesting. This person said, my girlfriend and I were fucking in my camper down by the lake earlier this afternoon, and she was riding me, and I was doing good trying to hold on, but it had been a long day, and I lost focus like Luke dropping the X-Wing on Dagobah and cream pied the bejesus out of her, but she hadn't got hers yet. So I soldiered on, but I could feel my ball juices dripping on me and a fucking lie, ran down my shaft and over my nuts and across my taint and pulled in my asshole. And I was being dominant, even though she was still on top. So as I was thrusting up, my shit gate was doing this puckering fish thing and gulping down all that pulled up secondhand batter. Question is, if I accidentally ended up with my cum in my own asshole after sex, does this make me gay? I never met my real dad, so I don't have anyone else to ask about this kind of stuff.
What? So that's the question you should probably keep to yourself.
What? Okay. Again, hilarious. Real quick, some news of the weird. For the second time this month, a teenager in the Bronx has been charged with trying to take a subway train for a joyride on February 18th. Police said the 15-year-old tried to operate the number 2 train from the Prospect Avenue station. He was arrested in late January with a group of kids who drove the R train in Brooklyn. He was charged with reckless endangerment and criminal trespassing. Now, here's the funny story. When I was in school, and all those that know my Pittsburgh story, but when I was in Pittsburgh, there was this young man who was enamored with Epic. Baby, the news flashed, and from what I understood, someone stole a bus from Pat Transit and was driving around. Why was it this young man that was enamored with me that stole the bus?
Oh, was he trying to impress you, kind of like John Hinckley was trying to impress Jodie Foster?
Baby, all I know is when I saw this, I had to laugh because I was like, oh, okay.
You be turning the girls out like that?
Listen, I had done nothing with this young man. Nothing.
So just the thought of it drove him into a frenzy.
Just the thought of you. Do-do-be-do. So listen, the next story, an unnamed 55-year-old Canadian woman lost both her hands when she attempted to engage.
Hold on. Cyrus said, you say got him crazy. Got him crazy. Got him juicy.
Listen. Anyway, so this unnamed 55-year-old Canadian woman lost both her hands when she attempted to engage with a 6-foot-long shark while snorkeling in Turks and Caicos. The tourist reportedly wanted to take a photo of the animal. After she was treated in the Caribbean, she returned to Canada for further medical attention, but doctors could not save her hands. Conservationists said the shark might have mistaken the woman's phone for a fish, and they said sharks or any predatory animals in the ocean can confuse that as like a bait fish. But here's my thing, baby. There's a shark coming towards me. Baby, I don't want to take no goddamn picture. That's the last thing on my mind. But I see there's a question. There's a question. That young man with the Barry Russell shirt on. Yes, man. Yes, sir.
I'll take shit that will never happen to me for $500, Alex. Because, bitch, the one time I have been snorkeling. So I've been snorkeling. We were snorkeling in Cozumel, and it was fun. You know, you let the water get above your ears. They give you the water wings because they know you can't swim. They give you a cute little Mexican lifeguard who will not let you get out of the water, even though you complain like a bitch. But it is fun because once you let the water get above your ears and, you know, you tune out the sounds of the world, it's cute. And, you know, the little tiny fish that are about this big will swim right up to your goggles and everything. And it's cute. It's lots of fun. It was a life-changing experience for my 40th birthday. But let me tell you, if I had looked in my periphery and had seen a shark, I don't even know what I would do. Because since I can't swim, I mean, I could swim, But you had them water wings. I'd have been like, whoosh. I'd have used like my whole body volume to be swimming out of that bitch. The last thing on my mind would have been like, oh, I need a picture. No, ma'am.
So
no, ma'am.
First, I probably would have pissed. I probably literally would have pissed on myself in the water. I'd have been like a squid, but like ink. I'd have been like, oh,
exactly. Like diversion.
But listen, people do different things, and listen, that's not one of the things that I want to do. But okay. And then listen, look at the Spiller boy talking about I'll be on the side holding purses. This is another one that don't want to, but okay, we're gonna let that go. There was an observant deputy who was credited with foiling the attempts of Jose Francisco Herrera Munoz and Angel Gonzalez Gutierrez, 18 and 19 respectively, to launch illegal drugs into the U.S. penitentiary Pollock in Grant Parish, Louisiana. Both men are from Greeley, Colorado. Munoz and Gutierrez had planned to use a compressed air cannon, which has a range of 350 feet, to send $112,000 worth of tobacco and $89,500 worth of methamphetamines over the prison wall. But the deputy acted before they could make the delivery. The sheriff said that much meth would have just been devastating in that population. They were charged with attempting to introduce contraband into a penal institution and attempting to distribute meth. Baby.
I don't know how they thought that they were going to launch that much tobacco and meth into the prison without anyone seeing them, or at least hearing the thud of it hit the ground.
And here's the thing. If it's like any other prison that I've seen or penitentiary that I've seen, there's guards all over the place, every single
over the fucking place.
And the walls underneath, they're riding around in cars. They got the fences and everything else. So even if you were to get
cameras all over the place,
right? So even if you were to get this thing up and over the fence and it goes into the yard, when whoever the inmates are, if they do get it, because let's just say it falls in the middle of the courtyard during the the time they're out there having recess or whatever, or outside of getting sun.
It's not recess.
But I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, or yard time or whatever. But
you say a recess like they just out there chilling.
I mean, how much of this stuff do they think is really they're gonna get away with? Now, listen, will somebody take it? Absolutely. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm taking this shit now. Well, I get it.
And now you in jail with these motherfuckers for nothing.
And then the other part of that is so you done bought this money, you done spend all this money, you gonna go ahead and give it to them. How you gonna get your money back? I don't understand that, but okay, all right, whatever. But that's all I got for these stories for tonight. That's all I got.
Well, this has been a fun and lovely evening. I really enjoyed that Margaret shit, what was it? The Bloody Mary. And I will need to go back to that store and find some more this weekend. I had a message because there was a
baby, don't you drink no more Bloody Marys on this show. Don't you listen, you can't hold your liquor.
I can hold my liquor just fine. I'll have you know.
You can't hold your liquor.
I am doing perfectly fine, thank you. So I am looking forward to a quiet weekend with the occasional 2 or 3 just A appointments, because I don't do D and A. It's just A appointments. No shade. I'm not shading that. I'm just saying that's just not my ministry. So, but yes, I'm looking forward to that. Do you have anything fun planned this weekend?
I do. I have a DNA appointment planned. That should be fun. Woohoo!
Woo!
I have this weekend, no, but next week I'm gonna be doing a little bit of traveling. So we're gonna chit chat about that.
Where you going?
I'm gonna go where everybody knows my name. Dum, dum,
to Boston?
No, I'm gonna go sit on the lanai, probably down in the Everglades of the Floridas. So we're gonna see how this gonna be.
Are you going to Florida and didn't invite me?
I was invited to go for a fact-finding mission by Grace. I'll tell you about it.
All right, we'll tell you as soon as they go. All right, so it was lovely to talk to you all because we got fact finding bits to talk about. Well, it was lovely talking to you all, so we will talk to you all soon. All right.